turned into a massive introvert, which everyone still laughs about.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Leave my house for days, but actually I notice that my energy levels are not that high if I don't leave the house. And I really have to force myself to leave the house, but I'm quite cozy in the house.
Do you think that's because you went out so much in like your 20s and 30s that like now you're just like, you know what, staying in a little bit would be quite nice?
I think so. I think it's like 20 years at least. Because, I mean, I started drinking, sort of around 15 or 16.
Yeah,
and that was pretty late for someone in the UK. I think everyone else was getting, pissed on the school field at like 12, 13, right? But,
yeah. I was a bit late to the game too. I was about 15, I think, the first time I got pissed.
Yeah.
What was your first alcoholic drink?
I think, my mum had given me, every so often a glass of wine, trying to ease you in because that's what you're supposed to do. So it's not like, this big thing you're looking. But I think I had.
I like that it's like easy, like a British parental response. Like, you're gonna get into this, so let's just give you some fucking tolerance.
Yeah, exactly. Just give me a little bit of whiskey if I had a cold when I was younger on the in the bottle. But anyway, that's another story. I think it was actually a pint of cider.
Yeah.
So I think it was cider. 2020. K cider. I think it was cider because it's a bit sweeter and it's a bit easier to drink, right?
I think mine might have been a K cider as well.
Really?
Yeah. It was either K cider or Labatt Ice, but I'm reasonably confident it was K cider in Oaken Grove Park.
Yeah. I think it was it was K cider for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just progressed on to Snakebite and Black.
Yeah.
Double JD and Cokes. 50p a shot on a Thursday night for Zambuca.
Yeah.
Then rolling into Smoky Joe's and getting the TVR tequila vodka Red Bull jug.
Yeah. I imagine the young, like mid-teens, isn't it? 15. I imagine like a mid-teen experience with alcohol is significantly different for girls than it is for boys for this reason, because if you're a 15-year-old girl and you have 3K cider, at that point, well, first off, that you can get into the pubs in town because I remember this from when I was like 16. Then like girls that I knew would get into pubs no problem, but for the guys, and this is like the experience I'm getting onto, for guys it's like they can't put makeup, well they can put makeup on, but it's a slightly different trajectory. So like the girls go off into the pub and get bought drinks by like older guys, whatever. Meanwhile, like the 15-year-old boy is just like sat in a cold park in Maidenhead. Like,
it's true. They didn't really have a chance, did they?
No.
I remember sort of when I turned 18 and being so happy that I didn't have to do this fake ID. I didn't have a fake ID, but I just used to memorize a different birth date. But I was so bad with maths and numbers, and if I panicked, I'd just probably say it wrong anyway. But I never got asked. So when I got to 18, I remember sort of walking into my favorite local and sort of like, "Oh, I'm 18 now," and they were like, "You've been here for the last 2 years," and I was like, let's just ignore what I just said and ran off,
I mean, it's my 19th. I misspoke.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I still didn't drink. I started when I was 15. I still didn't drink that much, but when I hit my early 20s, I think, that's when I really drank. And then when I moved into London, I also again just, I think you're right in terms of, I think the last 20 years I've had such a great time. I've been out, whatever, and my body's just like, no, bitch, you're old now. And I thought it would never happen to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's be like, if like here we are chatting away on a podcast, but in like 2 days' time. I mean, it's Tuesday night now, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, like Mondays and Tuesdays are easy days to say, do you know what? It's nice to stay in. But like by Thursday night, what's going to happen when one of your like cool trendy Amsterdam guys texts you and goes like, I'm not going to do an accent, but like if he's like, I heard there's an amazing party down the road and free this and free that, you want to come?
I mean, to be honest, if that was last year, I would be like, yes. But because I really had to really sit with myself, I honestly, because my friends used to be like, JOMO or whatever, like the joy of missing out. And I always had FOMO. And now, like, I think I had a hangover the other day and it took me like a whole week to recover.
Really?
Usually it didn't. And it just kind of petrified me. You know? I was like, why? I mean, I had a good time, yes, but like, is it worth it? So I think I've just become a bit more like is that maybe if it's like once a month now, like if have a wild one and then I'm dead and then I really want to focus on work, so I'm like no.
I will say this, like when I'm sure your sister has said similar stuff to this effect before, but like when you become a parent and you are restricted in, well, not every parent is, but if you've got childcare problems, right, and you're a bit restricted in terms of what nights out you can go to or like gigs you can do or whatever, it does make you cherish the nights that you like. And this year I feel extra gutted because ordinarily a few friends of ours do a big Christmas reunion for friends in Maidenhead, right, and without, like, it sounds a bit sad and a bit tragic for me to, well, maybe it doesn't, but like I genuinely look forward to that for like maybe 10, 12, 16 weeks before. Like I'm like, it's going to be so much fun to catch up with friends and see what they're all up to and get pissed and have a like dance and like
and then you can handle it.
Like, well, I guess because it's over Christmas, right, you've got 2 weeks to nurse the hangover. But yeah, I think if I was out like we used to, in the beer years.
Oh God, yeah.
Every night of the week.
Every night, and still get up and go to work, and still get leathered.
Do you think it's like that as you get older, it's harder to manage the hangover, or do you think it's as you get older, you feel like you shouldn't be doing this anymore, and you like it's a bit boring? And so then you sort of like, it's like psychosomatic, like you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, what the fuck am I doing with myself? Like,
I think that's a bit like it was for me. I mean, when I was going out in my heyday of the last 5 years in the scene, in the music scene, I mean, everyone was always shocked at, like, how old I'm, like, not old, but like, you're still out. I love it. And I actually had this sense of pride and joy that I still was out having a good time, but not in that sort of creepy older woman way, just like I kind of just knew where I could go in, walk in on guest list or sit in the, like, not that I ever sit in VIP, but just, having that kind of older, a bit more mature way of going out and really enjoying music and being with my mates rather than getting like absolutely hammered and not remembering the night and losing a shoe and bag along with it and just
burn on this arm and
yeah, exactly. Just, but I think now it's, my priorities have slightly changed. So it's like, I am a bit like, is that a waste of time?